Hi everybody, today we're going to play with some acrylics, so let's get started. First of all, let's go through what you will need. Well, you will need some gloves to start with. Acrylic can be quite messy, so I've got a new set of nails on today, so I don't want to ruin them. So I'm going to be working on my silicone hand because, like I say, my nails have just been done. She's got some nails in place that have all been buffed and are about to be prepped. I'm going to show you how to place a nail tip on, how to place your bead, and all the things you will need. So first of all, let's check what you will need. So you need a good acrylic brush. I'm using this one. This is one I've used for years and years. It's my trusty brush. You will need some monomer, some acetone. If you're using tips, you'll need some glue and some nail tips, which I have here. And you also need some acrylic powder. So I have a nice big pot of CJP core powder, O'Dolly, and I will be using that today, and some other little CJP colours here that I like. You will need some nail forms if you're going to form and sculpt the nail, and some monomer and some acetone. I'm using this monomer today from Nail Couture. It is a bit pongy, so I've added one little drop of essential oil, which is the coconut and vanilla one, fat oil, which I bought from, I think it was Temu or AliExpress, one of the two. You can also use Odor Out Nail System, which is by Honeyjoy, again available on Temu, very reasonable. Just put one drop in and it'll take the smell away of the monomer instantly. So we're going to pop some monomer into our dish. So you need a little dish that has preferably a little rest for your brushes as well. You don't need a lot of monomer to do a full set. I'm just going to pop in enough there for one hand today. I've also got some little lint-free wipes. I'm going to put one in the bottom. I always do this. It's just a little tip in the bottom of the monomer. Stops it kind of going to nothing, if you like, and also gives your brush something to push against when you're cleaning it, and you can really get into it and prep your brush properly. So the first thing we do is prep your brush, and you do need some nail wipes there. You constantly, when you work with acrylic, you're constantly drying off your brush. You're drying it off, cleaning it off. So it's good to have some lint-free wipe there as well, just to clean your brush, reshape it, make sure. Mine has a little bit of acrylic stuck in there somewhere. You can see how it's going double, but that doesn't matter. That'll soon come out with the monomer. So there we go. So first of all, we're going to practice picking up a bead before we do anything. I have this little silicone mat here with various different sizes. I would say for a beginner, this is the ideal size of bead. I hope you can see that there. Yeah, you can. Okay, so let's demonstrate picking up a bead first of all. So let's get our acrylic. This is a big pot. I'm just hoping I don't spill any. It's quite a new one, so yeah, I don't want to lose it. So just take the lid off, pop it to the side. I'm going to get my brush. I'm going to put some more monomer in there because I've actually sucked it up with the wipe. Let's pop some more in. Just pour it over my brush to get my brush nice. This comes out really well. It's just a little squirt, shall we say. I do have plenty monomer. I've got loads over there, so we can go back to that. So I'm not a nail educator. I did my nail tech course about 7 or 8 years ago, and all we did was acrylic. But since then, I've gone down the gel rabbit hole. So really, I've not done acrylic for quite some time myself. So I'm kind of refreshing also. So to pick up your beads from your acrylic, you get a good amount of monomer on your brush, drop it on the lint-free pad, just take off the excess, and just on the very tip of your brush, you go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I find that's perfect for me. Now you will see on your brush, the end of your brush, it looks like orange peel. That is where you want your acrylic to be. And your bead size, again, that is a perfect size bead to lay down onto the nail. It's easy to work with. You can pat it down. It's nice. It's quite warm today, so I'm finding this is setting very quickly. If that is happening, it's a good idea to get some ice water into a bowl and place your monomer into that, and it won't set as quickly. On a hot day, it's 30 degrees in Great Britain today, so it's a very exceptionally hot day. So yeah, you can play with that bead until it polymerizes for as long as you like. But yeah, I say that would be the ideal size of bead. You can see there, look how much you get out of that. So yeah, so let's go ahead and apply some nail tips to Angelina, my friend. I will be right back. I'll just get rid of this bead. Put it on there. There we go. So we're going to do some sticking on the nail tips first. So let me just pop my acrylic out the way. And we're going to size up the nails. So I'll be right back once I've done that, and I'm going to stick them onto Angelina for you. So, bear with me. I'm back. So I've sized out 5 nails, nail tips, pre-pinched nail tips for my Angelina. I've cut her nails back down to a reasonable length. They have been buffed, and we will get ready to stick the nails on. So these are beautiful tips. My Angelina's hand size is very, very small, and I'm going to struggle a little bit because I have nails on myself, very long ones, and gloves on. So just bear with me. I'm doing the best I can, guys. I've never done this before, so bear with me. So I'm just going to pop a little bit of glue along the edge of the tip. Make sure it reaches the corners. Turn over that nail, and we like to put it around about here, I would say. And just stick it down. Hold it in place for a few seconds until it adheres. And it's pre-pinched, so we don't need to pinch that nail when we do the acrylic. Like I said, guys, this is just purely demonstration purposes. Today it's more about putting the acrylic on rather than worrying too much about nails, you know, nail tips, types, all of that today. I really just want to demonstrate the acrylic, to be fair, because I'd love to bring it back. Love to bring acrylic back because you know, it just seems like it's been lost, and it's such a skill to have. And I think if you can do that, you could do anything really. You know, hard gel building is another skill that's a good one to learn. Building nails up with gel, if you can, you know, if you can master those, you're on your way really. So for all you know, self-taught nail techs out there, there's lots and lots of acrylic videos, you know, tutorials and showing you what to do and the best way to do it. I mean, people much better than me, but it's not about being better. It's just about being able to pass on the skills that you've learned. I've tipped my glue over. So yeah, I mean, I love acrylic. I really do. I love working with it. It's such nice. It's like working with Play-Doh, and I just enjoy it. And there's, you know, there's so much you can do with it as well. So many things you can use it with. You know, like you can do negative space. You can do, you know, chromes on top. There's so many designs that are all possible, just the same as they are with gel, because you can gel them over afterwards. So as long as you get your basic sculpted nail down, or a nail tip on, then the rest is really quite easy. There's lots of tools and tips and tricks out there to utilise. I'm having trouble. I can't even pick the blooming nail up today. I've got it somewhere and I don't know where it is. There it is. With clear gloves on, it's almost impossible. But I've used all my pink ones, so apologies. We're on clear ones today. So, cool. Just hold it in place until it sticks to the nail. I mean, this is different. I'm working on a silicone hand, so things are very different. I mean, look, I've not stuck that down very well at all. Pop it back on. Once the acrylic goes on, it'll be much better. I've had to put them quite low down simply because it's not a real hand. If I was working on a real hand, they would be right on the very edge of the nail. So difficult to do. Getting glue everywhere as well. I'm covered in it. So I'm going to put the lid back on and put it out of the way. It's much easier with a brush on glue, I think. Perhaps I'll do that next time. Anyway, so these are just little mini stilettos, pointy tips. They're really pretty actually. Because they're pre-pinched, they're nice and slim on the nail. There's very little work to do file-wise afterwards if you do it correctly. This is what puts people off acrylic. Mostly it's the filing. But you know, with your e-file, if you sculpt out the nail well enough, you shouldn't have too much to do, to be fair. So just wait till I can kind of get that stuck down. There we go. So all I want is a kind of normal looking nail. So I'm quite happy with those. So I'll put these out of the way because I've not got a lot of room. So let's practice placing a bead on the nail. So what you want to do, I'll just presume that these have been etched first because obviously they don't have to last. So what you want to do is, let me just get a little bit more paper down. I want to roll my mats. I'll put that under the lint-free wipe. There we go, just in case I get in a mess. So make sure you're protecting your desk, guys, because it can get everywhere. There we go. Right. So again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You've got your little bead, and the first bead should always go over where the join is for the false nail tip. Just lay it down, place it, and you pat it into place. It's very important. You don't drag it, you don't paint it. It's pat, pat, pat. Just remember, pat, 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 and pull gently as you do to get that nail in place, like that. So easy, but you do have to practice having the right consistency of bead. I'll show you one that's too watery. So a lot of people make the mistake, they don't wipe the brush, they go in with the acrylic like that and they go straight on the nail, and as you can see, that is way too sloppy. That is too wet. That'll just get everywhere, it'll run everywhere on the nail, it'll be no good at all. Or there's sometimes when you go too dry, so you're drying off your brush like this and you go in and you end up with really nothing, to be fair. Just this. A crusty old brush where the acrylic gets stuck in it and you can ruin your brush. So make sure that you're getting the right consistency every time. So wipe that brush off before you go into the acrylic, just gently to reshape it, and then go into your acrylic 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times, come out, and there's your bead. So your next bead is bringing it down the nail. Don't worry about the cuticle or anything like that at the moment, because we're going to have to build an apex as well to strengthen a nail. So at the moment, all we're doing is putting that acrylic down onto the nail, push, pull and pat at the same time. So it's press and pull all the way down, covering all the nail like this. And just bring it down to the edge if you can. You can always put another bead on. You don't have to do everything in one bead. But look how beautiful that is, guys. I just love acrylic. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I'm going to pop a little bead up by the cuticle, and I'm going to place it, and I'm going to leave it. And I'll let it do its thing for a few seconds. Because it's such a hot day, I have to go in a little bit quicker than I normally would. So I'm just tucking that in behind the cuticle. Like I said, I haven't prepped these nails today. There's plenty of prep videos out there you can follow, but you must make sure your prep is good, even double prep, because if not, they'll just pop off. What's the point? All your hard work goes to waste. You just pat and press all the way down. You can see that by the apex, we have that little arch in there. This is your strength. So we're going to do another bead over the top of that, just to bring it all together. So I'm just wetting my brush and wipe it off. Back in again, just to make sure it's clean. Dib dab on my mat, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's your bead. I'm going to pop another one on there. Wipe off my brush. Come back in. You can see the shape of my brush. It's nice and flat. It's so important to have a good brush, guys. If you don't, you won't have the strength to be able to do this properly. You'll just be painting it on, and you know, it won't look good at all. So that's a 3 bead nail. So you can see I'm just pat and press all the way down the nail, right to the very end. I'm holding the finger wrong, to be fair. I don't do clients, I only do myself, so it doesn't really matter. But yeah, for you, those of you that do clients, takes a long time to practice acrylic. You've got to practice, practice, practice until you get it satisfactorily, the way that, you know, it needs to be. Setting today like concrete is probably not the best day to demonstrate. I'm going to put another tiny bead just on the end, and you can always bring it back up. See where I've missed the end part. This acrylic is very good because it's not shadowing or anything. I'm not getting that mottled look. And there we go, guys. I'm happy with that. You must keep it a couple of millimeters away from the cuticle. We don't want it touching the skin. Never ever touch the skin. Don't worry about the size at the moment. That can all be filed off. When I first started out, my nails looked like chewits. I remember those sweet chewits. Like, oh, they just looked like our teeth. They had big pink hair and a big blob of white on the end, and it was terrible. But 9 times out of 10, your file will do it for you. Your file will fix it. I also, at this point, will use, let me just get it. I will use a pinching tool. I'm just trying to find mine. Bear with me. I have my pinching tool ready. Just while that is setting, and we'll just pop it on there. It's a bit hairy, it's got fluff on it. So we just pop that on there while the nail sets. You know, and make sure it's comfortable for the client. It doesn't touch them, it touches just the nail. And all you're doing is bringing that nail in and giving it a good shape. So what we'll do is we'll do another one. Just trying to get this right on my, I'll have to turn it that way. So we'll leave that in place for a few seconds. I'm going to do the next nail with you. So obviously the index finger is a lot smaller, so we want smaller beads. So I'm going 1, 2, 3 into the acrylic, drop my bead on, dry my brush off, and go back in. And we put it over where the natural nail meets the extension. Pat and press and pull. Leave the cuticle area for now, just come round the edge, go back in into acrylic, dry it off. 1, 2, 3, because it's a smaller nail. I've not gotten the right bead there. It's quite difficult doing this. 1, 2, be on film. I'm going to pop a bead there, right up the middle. Can you see? And I've placed that. My pinch tool's moving. Quite hard on a dead hand. Don't worry if you've got any extra. Just take it off. Make sure you get it out of your brush. And then back in with the cuticle bead. So we've done this tiny little, really minuscule nail with 3 beads. Don't be afraid to brush over it with some acrylic, just in case there's any bits that I've not got enough on. So now we're going in with the cuticle bead. I said, keep it 1 millimetre or 2 away from the side, from the skin. Tuck it in around the cuticle. Pat and press all the way. And then we're going to do the apex. So my client, I'll get her to bend a finger so you can see what you're doing. And you need that apex. These people that are having flat nails are at real risk of doing themselves an injury. You catch that nail in a car door, which is a very common one. Catch it somewhere, it rips your nail off. It will take the whole lot, or it will rip down in the middle of your nail and your nails are ruined for about a year until it grows out. So be very careful. Make sure that you have an apex in that nail to give it strength. Right on here is where you should have it, right there. That's where your apex should be. I mean, this is just a little short. It doesn't have to be hugely high. For some reason I'm missing a bit on the side, so if you're missing any bits, go back in. A little tiny bead of acrylic, pop it on and just lay it down. Yeah. So that's another nail done. Let's do one more. So take that off, and as you can see, that nail is nice and pinched. It's moved a little. Angelina here's no looking what she's doing. This one, just pop it on there. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do this, guys, with a dead hand, but I'll just hold it in place before we do the next nail. The same principle applies when you're using a nail form. I will do that for you as well. We'll do one more nail, I think, and then I'll show you how to apply a nail form. I'll try anyway. 1, 2, 3, 4, I think, for the middle nail. We'll lay that bead down. Just leave it for a second. Wipe the brush off. And just pat it into place over where the extension meets the natural nail. My Angelina's nail's pushed in too far, so we'll just pull it out a bit. She had no side walls then. So yeah, this is my mission, to bring back acrylic. I'm going to be doing several videos over time where I can show you encapsulating. I can do a little bit of that today perhaps. We'll see. I'll see how time goes. I don't want to make this a hugely long video. But yeah, you can encapsulate gems, glitter, sequins, whatever you want. But yeah, acrylic to me is the god of all mediums, if you like, because for me, I enjoy it. I just like it better. Everybody's got a favourite, haven't they? Although gel's fun, I love cat eyes. Can't get enough cat eyes. I love gel, love painting, love actually doing real watercolour art and acrylic painting. I've done a few, I may show them at some point, but yeah, I've been exploring my artistic side, if you like, but it is different when you're doing it on a nail and especially on film. Like I said, I'm no teacher, but I hope I'm helping you today. I hope that at least somebody is going to pluck up the courage to give it a go. Because I know in my group at Lip Smacking Nails, my community group, we've all got acrylic and there's very few of them actually work with it, or they're scared of it, or they don't want to use it. And, you know, look how beautiful. Anyway, we're going to leave hand dolly there. I don't think that one needs pinching, so I'm going to just leave it there. Just let it dry. You want it like that. You want to hear that sound when you tap it. That is dry. You don't have to do anything. You don't have to put it in the lamp. It's ready for filing. Now, say you were applying a nail form, so we're going to ignore this because we're going to sculpt a nail out. So we just take a nail form. These are some CJP. Obviously, I'm not promoting CJP. I'm not affiliated with them, but they're what came with my first kits. They're what I used to buy with them. So I've no preference. Any nail forms will do. Some of those little gold beginner ones you get in all the sets are fine. You take the little tab out the middle and apply it onto the back just to give it that strength in the middle. So it makes it doubly strong. We open it at the top like so. Just rip mine because I've got gloves on. I'm just not good at this. And then just pinch it on the very end. And you'll see it always is marked out. Just close those tabs on the end like that. So that's your shape that you want. Now, you can trim them to size to fit the nail and all of that. I'm not getting into that today. I'm going to roll this between my fingers just to make it more rounded. All I'm wanting to do is to show you how to sculpt. So I'm not bothered about the actual fitting the nail form and all of that. There's plenty of videos out there that have already been done and people can watch those. In the meantime, I'm just going to pop this on. You can see what I'm doing, I hope. And I'll just wrap it around because, as I say, Angelina hasn't got a circulatory system or any muscles. So I'm just trying to keep it in place. Disaster, guys. Right, here we are. So we've got the nail form on. And how are we going to sculpt this now? You can see it's got lots of lines on it that you can follow. But the first rule of thumb is to go from the natural nail, which would be this, would be the end of the nail tip. And that's where you want to put your acrylic. So we're going to extend this nail out into a really long one. So let's do that. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's my little bead. It's a thin one actually. I would normally not use that. It's very thin, but here we go. We'll let it dry out. It's a warm, warm day. It's going to set really quickly. So just touch where the nail meets, the natural nail meets the nail form. Bring in the sides. This is moving. Bring in the sides and build your nail out like that. And again, just like you did before, you go over the natural nail and bring it down the form. And you can do any shape. You can do square, oval, almond, ballerina, stiletto, whatever you want. And just use this as your platform to build that nail. So let's put a little bit more on. So next, before I extend it out, I'm just going to pop some on here just to make sure that nail stays in place, because I do have an extension already on this nail. I would not normally, I would put a form just on the natural nail. Is it underneath here? I've got 2 tips, so I have to be slightly careful. Let's get some more Mortimer. smells like coconut oil. Lovely. Coconut and vanilla. Ooh. Look how nice my brush is. It's staying just as I like it. So like I said, because I've got a false nail on, I'm going to have to do the bottom end first before I show you how to sculpt it out. Before I qualified, I was watching Kirsty Meakin videos. If you go back to some of her old ones, guys, she does amazing acrylic. And I'll tell you, I learned so much from her. She was my nail hero, my nail fairy, if you like. And she lives in my area. Would love to go and get my nails done, but I have never thought about going and asking her to do them. But yeah, so just keep adding those little blobs of acrylic. It doesn't matter what they look like, because remember, as long as your consistency is right, that acrylic is going to go exactly where you want it. And also, it can be filed. The file just is everything. Your file will sort everything out for you. So this is just going to be a big long fantasy nail, I'm afraid. I will build an apex in later. All I'm doing at the moment is just building out the side walls a little bit, because I feel like it's so narrow that I'm not going to be able to add any length to show you. So I'm just placing as many beads as I need. Doesn't matter how many beads, you can use 50 beads if you want. Just keep working until you get that nail just the way you want it. Because remember, your file will take it all off. Any mistakes, you can, it's very forgiving. Bit of a bump there, so I'm just gonna, just because the form hasn't stayed in place the way I'd like it, so I'm just gonna get rid of that bump. It's actually where the end of the nail extension meets the new, and it's bugging me. Better. It's back here as well. Checking it all the way around. Now you can see that nail looks quite thick. I don't mind that. That's fine, because like I said, I'm going to file it anyway and get it looking just the way I want it. I'm not really showing you this form very well because it is coming apart. I'm doing it on a hand dolly. It's just a nightmare. It's not working out very well at all. But yeah, it is fun to play with, and it should be, acrylic should be the one that you should learn, I think, before gel and anything else. Because anybody could just stick a nail on, put some gel on. That ain't a skill. I'm sorry, guys, but it isn't. The art you do afterwards is. Anybody can do it. Just take this form out of play. So anybody can do that. Anybody can sit there and paint a nail, right, and put a sticker on and call that nail art and themselves a tech. You're not a nail tech if you're doing that, sorry. The technical side of it is what I'm showing you today. The technical side is knowing where to place those beads, how to place it, getting it in the right place, using your brush properly, picking up your bead, using the correct consistency, getting the shape right. There is a lot to learn, and it takes years of practice to perfect it. You can see that nail isn't perfect, it's far from perfect. Look at my side walls. All of that is going to have to be neatened up, and I'm going to have to show you, but that is fine today. But it's not fine if you're doing that on a client. You want to get it right like this, first time, every time. Okay, that client's got more things to do with their day than to sit. Although it's nice to get a manicure, sometimes it takes far too blooming long. Just get it on the nail, do the filing, and then you could do your design. But, you know, I don't agree with all these people calling, stick a nail on and put a sticker on it, calling themselves a nail technician, because they aren't. Actually costs quite a lot of money and takes quite a long time at college. I did mine while I was working because I was able to fit it around my shifts. And so it was possible for me to do it, but I was self-taught before then, but I would never have called myself a nail technician, never. So that's my bugbear out of the way for today. I don't do clients because I don't think I'm good enough, and I don't want the hassle, to be fair. It's fine doing family and friends for a treat. They'll come say, well, if you paint my nails for me, you put some nice gel on, I want that colour. Can I have acrylic extensions? Can you do this? Yeah, no problem. It's free. I don't charge or anything like that, obviously. It's for loved ones. So, yeah, I just love doing it. And it gives me a little bit of practice. But I won't do strangers. So, there we go, guys. There's a set of acrylic nails done. So we're going to clean up, most important, fix your brush, get it right in there, clean, wipe it out. Do this, you've got any glitter in it, make sure it comes out. I've got a bit of glitter in my acrylic, but back in there, just tease it out like that, and that's ready to be used for next time. So let's put my lid back on. It's got I don't know why it's got a two-pronged bit in it. I will have a look at that later, but I will reshape it. You can do it with a bit of boiling water, dip it in acetone, then into boiling water, a bit of conditioner on it. Done. Put these out the way. So I'm just tidying up at the moment. I tend to just do this. Put my wipe into the monomer that I've not used. Let's look at my dish. So like I said, there's much better nail techs out there that can show you. I just thought I would make a quick video today showing you how I do it. And the basic techniques of picking up a bead, which is the main objective of this video. So I'm just going to get my nail drill. And one of my mini mandrels. Fresh one for each person. I'll leave the nails to set for the meantime, but the thumb is ready to go. So I'll do some filing, bring down the acrylic to where I want it to be. So first of all, around the cuticle. I don't want to file my silicone, so we'll run round the cuticle. I'm just showing you today. I'm not worried about doing a proper nail here. I'm just See, I don't want to take away my silicone. So we just put the file over the top, buff, buff, buff. Just do your side walls. Checking the nail all the time. It's quite thick, so I'm going to bring it down there. Just turn this up a bit. You can go in with a stronger porcelain bit than what I'm using here. I've just got the sanding band on, just to show you. So let's just taking down some of that bulk. I'm going to also use my hand file to finish. So I'll just go in and do side walls. It's quite hard on this hand. I've not practiced with it, to be fair. It's quite new. I knew that would happen. Pop it back in. It's always going to happen when you're doing a video. Oh, goodness me. Right. Just buff over the top, like this. And you can also take a wipe when you're done. Some acetone. Just wipe it over. And smooth out any bumps that are left. Any scratches. Like I see, I need to do a little bit more yet. I want to just smooth out the top a little bit more. And obviously before applying these, you've prepped your nails and done all the things, the normal rigmarole that you go through. But look guys, there's our sculpted nail. Oh, I hope you can see that. I hope my head isn't in the way of this video. I've tried my best. Right, we shall do this one. So I'm not going to worry about these. That's what you do with these, that kind of nail. So this one is a bit bigger, obviously. I'm just going to use my hand file. So first we've got the side walls, like this. When I do it, I'm shaking everything. When I do it, I like to kind of come up and over like this. So I'm bringing it in as I go, like this. So this is our extended nail that we've just done on the nail form. Underneath also. Make sure it's equal on the sides. Round the cuticle. He's so hard on a dummy. Yeah, so you don't have to imagine that, I'm afraid. But around the cuticle area, it's all neat and tidy. And then, and be careful not to cut your client, and then we go over the top. So I like to go like this. And then this. And then I like to finish violet. But that's how I do it. Everybody has their own way of doing the nails. And look how sexy that nail is, guys. Look at that. That is straight up sexy sculpted nail. I love it. I love it. I love it. So yeah, like I said, there's plenty of nail techs out there that still do acrylics. Try Julie's nails. She does nails by Tabitha. There's Kirsty Meakin. My goodness, I can't think of them all off the top of my head, but there's some really very good nail techs out there that you can watch doing this. I just fancied a play today and thought, well, why not share it with you? This is my practice time. This is when I want to practice it. You know, so I'm just having fun today. Another nail wipe and some more acetone. Let's wipe this over and have a look at it. So you can see I've filed some away, to be fair, and it's clear. But we can always paint over it afterwards. I'm not worried about that at all. Yeah. What it was actually, because the nail tip was up here, so I had to put extra on this bit here to extend it out. So the nail tip inside is what you see in the clear part, unfortunately. I mean, that's something you need to watch. It's up to you if you want that Old Dolly nail colour. If you don't, then you can always paint over it, put a design on it. You know, do something nice. I've lost my pinky nail. Here we are. So yeah, so these just need tidying up now. Same again, side walls, cuticle area, and then over the top to make them all neat. I will take them off, put them on a nail stand and do it later. But yeah, I've got a big bit of acrylic on the side. Sorry guys. Obviously you can't do this on your client, but I don't want to ruin the silicone on my fake hand. So side walls up the sides, over the top, smooth it all off. You can always go over with a buffer as well. I just use a bit of acetone after I've used my hand file. Check it all the way. Everything is even, quite happy, done. Doesn't take as long as you think, especially when you get your acrylic in place where it's supposed to go. This one likewise, look, I've got acrylic on the side. I won't get rid of that without ruining my hand, so I'm not willing to do that. I love that silicone hand, it's the best. It's available on AliExpress currently for around 20 quid. Comes with a ring and everything. I just bought a clip to put it on my table, although it does have a metallic holder thing, stand, which I found didn't stick to my desk, so I was like, right, I'll just buy a clip-on, and I got that off Amazon for a few quid. It wasn't expensive at all, and that just clips onto my desk. It's much better for working on the hand. So it's pinky done. We've done this one. Here we go. So we've got a super long ring finger one, but that's just because we sculpted it. And that's the nails, guys. So thank you for watching. If you're still here, I really appreciate it. That was just a quick demonstration of what I do when I'm doing acrylics. There's so much more you can do. There's lots of videos out there showing you what to do as well. So pop across, have a look, and then have a go. Just have a go. Don't be afraid of it. Give it a try. You won't regret it. It's such a nice skill to have, but it takes time. It takes years. It takes practice. Please, please give it a try. Thanks for watching. Bye.